Hi everyone and welcome to She Rides, the podcast where women's cycling takes lead. I'm Saar, your host of today, and today we're previewing the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 37 of She Rides and the ultimate Tour de France Femmes preview. Normally we would have last year's Lantern Rouge on the podcast, but issues with Wi-Fi, electricity, data, everything couldn't be fixed anymore. We really tried, but we have someone who saved the day for us. Hi, Connie.
Hiya.
Yeah, I don't need to ask to introduce yourself anymore because we've had you on the podcast, I think, around Paris-Roubaix or something during the classics. So yeah, first of all, just thank you for hosting this preview with me.
So good.
Yeah, so the plan for today is I'll tell a bit about what are the plans for me, what are maybe the plans for Saar on tour. But we'll first just start off with going over the stages really quick, and then afterwards we'll just do a bit of a chill preview. This the biggest race of the year, I think, in women's cycling. So maybe before we start, it's interesting to say, I think this one will be online on the 24th. On the 25th, there will be a lineup post of some of our guests who felt like predicting all stages, and I just made it a little bit harder for them. Very
hard.
So they can also, me and Kristof did it as well, and they can only predict one rider one time, and then they also had some other predictions which we will go over, but it might be nice to just also just drop some names who have been chosen for those as well. But yeah, the tour, it's an extra day or even extra 2 days, because last year, because of the Olympics, it were 7 days with 8 stages, but this year it's 9 days. So we start in Bretagne. The first stage starts in Vannes, and then we even almost draw a diagonal through France. And we end up very close to Switzerland in Châtel. I think overall feelings, it's a very hard tour.
It looks very savage.
Yeah. So actually, in total, just know it's 1,168 kilometers. Yeah, I think that there's not going to be many calm days there. So in terms of teams, I don't think there are surprisers. No continental teams.
Wind space.
Yeah.
Or were they Pro Conti?
Yeah, indeed.
Get
so
confused.
Windspace, all the main teams, which I am noticing now actually is there's a weird jersey or a different jersey for As He Works in the road book. So I don't know, is that something that needs to be announced or just a mistake? We will see. It's like one with blue and like an orange sleeve or something.
Oh, I know FDJ have announced that they're racing in their 2026 kit today.
Yeah, so let's keep an eye on that, just noticing now. Yeah, also for like the things like general classification and stuff, there's not changing much. So yeah, the first stage goes from Vannes to Plumelec. It's a very short stage. I'm just taking it now. It's what was it again?
78 kilometers.
Yeah, 78
really short.
kilometers, which is very short. But as you said it in our first stage review, actually, it will probably be an evening stage because otherwise it's very sad. Okay. But indeed, it's an evening stage. It starts, let me see, 17, so 5:50 p.m. something's like 10 to 6, something like that, I think. No, the official start is at 20 to 6 in CET. Yeah, that's the official starting time. So for the stage profile, we do 3 categorized climbs. One is the Côte de Botsé-Gallo. It's 0.8 kilometers at 5.3%. Then we have in Plumelec, we have an intermediate sprint. And then we do 2 times the Côte de Cadoudal, which is 1.7 kilometers at 6.2%. And it also finishes on the climb there. So and the first ascent of the Côte de Cadoudal is on 65 kilometers. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's like an easy stage to start with there.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not ridiculously hard, I guess, but it's going to be interesting to see how they play it.
Yeah. Like, also the thing with Brittany roads is that it aren't too wide roads, a lot of corners, pretty small roads. So it will be certainly also something to cross our fingers for not too many crashes and stuff.
Yeah, that circuit's quite wide for the finish. So saying I've raced it for GP Morbihan or Classic Morbihan a couple of years back, and it is quite a nice wide road.
Yeah.
But the run into the circuit could be really narrow, I suspect.
So it's like we have some people saying like, oh, this should be doable for Wiebes to win this one. We have other people saying like, it will be a little bit too hard. And we have others also just saying like, it will be a mix, or there will be so many attacks that there won't be sprinted for the stage. So yeah, it could be very interesting racing. Maybe because it's a short stage, we will see pretty soon some action from already the bigger names, which could be very nice. I also think this one has full coverage, which is also nice.
Really
I think
good.
there are some stages who have full coverage, not all of them, but the opening stage certainly has. So yeah, I don't know. If we just go look at the predictions that already came in, Marianne Vos is the favorite here for us. We have also Kim LeCour, that might be influenced by our AG insurance guess, maybe. We have people saying Lorena Wiebes, Charlotte Kool, Lotte Kopecky, Puk Pieterse, Cédric Kerbao. Yeah, or it could be like sprint style, and we see the likes of Wiebes, Vos, maybe Balsamo, like also maybe think Kool maybe will be a bit too hard there, but maybe like a Paternoster, maybe Ilse Pluimers and Gladys Verhulst-Wild for AG also. That's maybe a hotter take there.
Yeah, I debated putting Gladys down for it. I was like, she could probably do it. But I didn't know what form she's going to be on after I crash at Tour of Britain. So like, do I go for it? Do I not?
That could be maybe like an outsider name. Then also maybe Ali Wollaston could also be, maybe not for the win, but like Skalniak Soika, maybe. So yeah, I think it really depends how it's been raced. If there's action from the start already by the bigger names, it might be hard to control it for Wiebes, and we might see like also for SD Works, like riders like Misha Bredold, Femke Gerritsen, Blanca Vaz in the attack, Van der Breggen, even Lotte Kopecky. So I think it depends. If it's a pretty easy start and not too many attacks, I think SD Works will be too strong to get away in the finale, and they will just opt for the Wiebes card. But if there's action from the beginning and it's very hard to control, I think we could definitely see some attractive racing.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be a really good stage to watch, I suspect.
Yeah, I hope so. And then the second stage goes from Brest to Quimper. It's again not a flat stage. In terms of hills, we have one third category climb, the Mini Keller, which is on 50.7 kilometers after the start. Then we have 3 fourth category climbs. So we have the Côte de Locronan, which is 0.8 kilometers at 8.9%. Then we have the Côte du Chemin de Troyes, 1.1k at 5.7%. And then we do that one again, just 5 kilometers for the finish. And then it's also an uphill finish again. So what do you think? The same people to compete for the stages as the last one, or a bit harder?
Yeah, I think it's going to produce a very similar result to the day before.
Yeah.
I still reckon it's flat enough to favour Wiebes. But again, it just depends how they race it, really.
Yeah.
Racing in Brittany is always tough. It's never flat. So it just depends whether they go hard from the gun and sort of try and make it not really a GC day as such, but see if a break can go with GC names in it. So I wouldn't put it past them not to try that. But at the same time, I think it could just be a sort of sprint stage, but possibly not favour the pure sprinters like Charlotte Kool, for example.
Yeah. I agree. Then for the She Rides guest, mainly it will become, I think, an opening weekend to just get through and minimize time losses
Yeah.
with pure climbers like Sarah Gigante, Petra Stiasny, Barbara Malcotti. Julie van der Velde, we will see her definitely in her favorite thing to do, full domestic mode. Yeah, they have a perfect team where she can definitely do lots of domestic work. So that will be I think she will be happy about that. Maybe someone for She Rides who could do well there is Margot van Pachtenbeke. On good days, I mean, we all know she did top 10 at Omloop Nieuwsblad and stuff. So maybe, yeah, it just really depends on how it's raced. There could be some surprises, or it could be all be big names.
Yeah, who knows with it? I think it's quite unpredictable.
Then the third stage is, we can say, I think, a little less interesting with La Gacilly to Angers.
It's a long stage.
Yeah, it's 163 kilometers. There is one categorized climb, 34 kilometers after the start. It's Côte de la Richardière, 1.7k at 4.6%. And then it's not completely flat, but it's mostly flat. And we have an intermediate sprint at around 40k before the finish. So yeah, that should be a day for Wiebes mostly again, because who's faster at this point? I don't think. But like in terms of sprinters, I also have Vos, maybe Gasparini. I also was surprised UNOX is taking a lot of fast women like Susanne Andersen, Confaloniere, Linda Zanetti.
Yes, Suzanne Anderson's quick. She could be a dark horse for that, I think.
Yeah. Like, we of course have Charlotte Kool. Depends how she comes through the first stages, of course, and if she will be at the start after that horrible crash at the Baloise Ladies Tour. But otherwise, they also have Barbieri. We have Mia Griffin, who's also been having some great results. Balsamo, of course. Yeah, we have again the AG Insurance. We have Amalie Diederiksen, Millie Cousins, Marta Truijens, so Ellie Wollaston, of course. So we have quite some names who can make it interesting, but I think for every position, starting from 2, the win will be a hard one.
Oh yeah, I think it could be very interesting.
If we then look at our She Rides predictions there, we have most people going for Wiebes. We have Charlotte Kool and Elisa Balsamo too. And there's one, I think I can say that, going for a surprise pick. It's Kat Ferguson with Kristen Faulkner. So that's, would be cool to see that happen, but I think it's hard. Maybe also, will they sprint with Alison Jackson, EF?
Don't know.
She's probably the fastest.
Yeah, she probably is the fastest, I suspect, out of the team they're taking.
I think Borghese did some sprint as well in the Vuelta, if I'm correct, but depends a bit. For stage 4, it's sprint, and that one is, if I'm correct, really, really flat, if I remember
that looks
well.
very flat.
Yeah.
130k at 748 meters of elevation.
Yeah. So that's okay. It's going from Saumur to Poitiers.
Yeah.
I think this one is a stage Charlotte Kool will be highlighting. I think it's after a couple after the first 2 harder days, maybe this is one she can. So there's one categorized climb about 30k from the finish, Côte de Marigny, 0.9 kilometers at 5.4%, but will be the same names as the day before competing normally.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be this very similar result.
Well, for stage 5, that was it, I think, for sprinters' opportunities.
Yeah, it starts to get hard from this point in.
Yeah, I am really wondering how many sprinters are gonna finish this Grand Tour, because if you're not in the running for the green jersey and you're not feeling, or like you're not really wanting to finish it or don't want the honor, there's not much you can do there anymore. Maybe some domestic work for the team, but also that's it.
Yeah, I think there might be quite a few climbing off after day 4.
Yeah. So down, stage 5 goes from Chasseneuil-du-Poitou to Guéret. It has it's 165.8 kilometers long, and it has again 3 categorized climbs. The first one is on 40k from the finish is Côte de Chabannes. It's fourth category, 1.4 at 5.2%. Then we have another fourth category, Côte du Pérou, and it's 3.3 kilometers at 4.3. And then we have the last one is on a little bit less than 10 kilometers from the finish, and it's Le Mot Puy, 2.8 kilometers at 5.4. So I think this one could be a breakaway stage.
Yeah, I think it could be a sort of non-GC favourite breakaway.
Yeah, it feels like it's definitely harder than a sprint stage, but it also doesn't feel like... I don't think the GC, maybe we will see some moves from riders who already lost some time in the first stages, but I don't really see like I think this would be a breakaway approved day.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think it's definitely sort of one that the sort of pro Conti teams, the smaller, will probably be looking at as how can we get a rider in a break and get them to the line sort of thing.
And we definitely see that in the predictions here. I went for She Rides with Margot van Pachtebeke. Could be a good stage for her. It's like not the real climbing yet, but it's heavy enough to make a difference. And we see Anna Henderson, but is she on the start? I don't think she's starting.
Oh, she's not starting. That might have been me. Oops.
So she's not starting, I think. We have Flodarczyk is one. Lippert was 2, so I think 3 times. So I think that's a favorite, and some people don't
Anna's
think
not
it's
starting.
gonna be.
Yeah, that was me backing the British too much.
We will change that. Marle Reusser is also someone to keep an eye on. Apparently, we have Ottestad, Ferran Prévost, Pieterse. So yeah, I think this could be a breakaway stage. So then stage 6, it's getting harder again.
Yeah, seeing the elevation hit the 2000s.
So we were going from Clermont-Ferrand to Ambert. And that's one with 4 categorized climbs. It has Côte de Courpierre. That's, let's say, 9k from the finish. It's 1.7 kilometers at 6%. Then we have a first category climb on about 40 kilometers from the finish, Col du Bial, 10.2 kilometers at 5.6%. And then we have another second category climb. It's Col du Sancerre, 6.3 kilometers at 5.5%. And then we go downhill. We go up again for a bit, and then it's downhill finish.
That downhill finish is going to be interesting.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you expect GC action, or just with a smaller group without the sprinters to the finish, or breakaway again?
It could be a Lotte day. I think this could be a Lotte Kopecky day. I sort of want to say that's how my head's sort of thinking about it now.
Yeah, I agree on you with that, and that's also I'm very happy actually. I'm doing the preview with you, and I'm not having anyone who is trying to ignore the bias. So yeah, could definitely be a lot today. Who are the others thinking? Seeing Marle Reusser, Longo Borghini, Anna van der Breggen, Kim Lecour, Lotte Kopecky, Nivia Doma, Puck Pieterse, Sarah Gigante. I think that's a very hot take to predict Sarah after downhill, but
yeah,
you never know. But yeah, indeed, it's giving me Lotte vibes. Probably if you say Lotte vibes, someone like Lippert or something would also probably be a good stage for her. So someone in that category, or someone who is a good descender, maybe like a Puck Pieterse is also, I think, a good big bear, or Kerbal, of course, if you talk about descending a mountain.
Yes, anyone who's like good at descending and really technical, I think that's going to play to them as long as they can hold on enough on the climb.
Then for stage 7, it's from Bourg-en-Bresse to Chambéry, and it's the last stage before we really get into the high mountains. It's not that they were very kind to the riders. It's not that they got a rest day before such a heavy weekend. We have a pretty flattish start of the stage. Till 60k to go, it starts going gradually uphill. Then we have at about 40k to go, we have a second category climb, Côte de Saint-Franc, 3.8 kilometers at 6.9%. Then a little bit later on, we have the Côte de Berlin, 1.2 kilometer at 7.2%. And then to finish it off in style, we have Col du Granier, 8.9 kilometers at 5.4%. On 15 kilometers, something like that from the finish. And then we have downhill to the finish line.
Yeah, it's another downhill finish, which again will be interesting how that's played out.
Yeah. I don't necessarily need this much downhill finish.
Yeah, it's a bit stressful.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit scary to watch, I think.
But I think it was also visible, at least in the earlier predictions, and still now, Cédric Kerbao, biggest favorite here. Yeah, descending, climbing pretty well. It's one that might be an easy pick here. Since I saw the predictions coming in, I didn't want to be too boring, and I went with Puk Pieterse instead. She can ride her. She has quite a bike handling skills as well. So could also be one. Also seeing Rianne Marcus, Lotte Kopecky, Longo Borghini, Demi Vollering, Cédric Kerbao. Again, Cédric Kerbao. So that are the picks there. And then, stage 8, it's
the big one.
Yeah, what? That is an incredible heavy stage. We start uphill again. I will be there. I will be on the first call there to avoid all the traffic going of Col la Madeleine and then trying to get in Châtel the next day. So I'll be doing the first one there, the Col de Plainpalais, 13.2 kilometers at 6.3%. It starts immediately uphill. So if the sprinters are still in there,
it's not going to be good for them.
A very tough one to make the time cut. Then we don't have categorized climbs till 68 kilometers after the start, and it's Côte de Saint-Georges d'Urtière, and it's 4.8 kilometers at 5.9%. And then of course we end with Col de la Madeleine, mountaintop finish, and it's 18.6 kilometers at 8.1%. So
that is brutal.
Yeah, it's on 111 kilometers. It's also elevation gain from 3,540 meters. Incredible, really heavy stage.
That is going to be very hard on the legs.
Yeah, someone who popped to mind immediately, and take that literally because we did a review back in November, I think, or even October, because it was our first podcast. And what popped in my mind there was Sarah Gigante. Then maybe from a different kind of scenario, like maybe getting some space from the GC riders, but she won't need it. I think honestly, if we saw her what she was doing in the Giro, I don't know who can follow her there. Actually,
she's going like a train. She's amazing given her injuries and everything like that. It's really good to see.
Yeah, our prediction favorite is definitely Sarah Gigante. We also see Vollering there, and then one for Kim LeCour. Yeah, that's what you get with AG Insurance riders predicting. But no, it will be exciting to see what she does. Very curious to that one, I think. But indeed, like Sarah Gigante seems like a stage for her. Like mainly going uphill.
Yeah,
that could be good.
It's just a pure climbers. That final climb is just brutal.
And then I've highlighted a lot of climbers to keep an eye on for the last weekend. We have Gekire Gigante, LeCour, Talita de Jong, Barbara Malcotti, of course, also she rides. Anna van der Breggen and Lotte Kopecky, depends a bit. Marion Bunel, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. We haven't mentioned her enough. Like, it's always the same thing with Van der Breggen and Ferrand-Prévot. You mention them not enough for the role they will play in the race. Petra Stiasny should also be a stage for her. Like, she loves the race's stuff. Like, it can never be too tough for her. Should be a good one.
Yeah, she'll enjoy it.
For Laboral, Ostolaza and Sant'Esteban. Ruek, Kerbao, a lot of class from the Belgian side. Cavalar, Bauernfeit. Canyon has a very climby team. Bauernfeit, Bradbury, Troep Ludwig will be domestic normally. Nivea Doma, Paladin, but also domestic duty here. Chabet, Labous, Muziek, Vollering. For little track, we have Fisher Black, Rianne Marcus, Amanda Spratt, Shirin van Anrooy. I don't think there will be one really competing for the podium, but they have a very strong and decent team.
Yeah, they've got a decent
for the
team there.
mountains. Yeah. Then maybe a very hot one, but you never know. I think Ségolène Thomas could also show some nice things there. Of course, Longo Borghini, Persico, but we saw her riding all year for Longo Borghini, so probably what we'll see again. Then we have like a Caroline Swinkels, Ciara Kastelein, Paulina Royakkers, Maui Garcia. I just want to say, Maui, if you're listening, please don't attack again on 7 kilometers to then get catched again and finish around the 8th position, because it's really getting painful.
Yeah.
Monica Trinca-Colonel. Is there 2? Silke Smulders, Marta Cavalli. Every episode I'm saying, like, please let this be the race. Marta Cavalli finds her way back to the top. Nienke Vinke for the young Dutchie is also riding pretty good, and like I think it was the Flèche Wallonne. She had a very nice result. So yeah, Ale Roet too. So I think that are the main names to keep an eye on.
Yeah, there's quite a lot.
Weekend.
There's a lot of climbers there to.
Yeah, it's like I was already like. At the Giro, I was already impressed with the quality of the participants list.
Yeah.
And then you just have this list. And for those who are watching, this is
amazing.
my highlighted list. I mean, yeah, it will be very nice to see. And also we can maybe take this topic into discussion here as well. Like, it's also, there are also staying some pretty big names at home, which is for them, of course, very sad. But in one part, it's kind of good to see, because last year, those riders wouldn't have stayed at home. So it means that the overall level under the top riders is also, we also see more riders who are not the best, but can certainly play a role, which sadly also makes some people miss the Tour who maybe hoped for a selection. Someone like that is Moolman. I saw her Instagram post. She's very disappointed. But if I see their selection, we have 3 climbers, Shakira, Gigante, Lecour, Van der Velde, who can also help quite well on the climbs. But then you see with Bossuet, Pluimers, and Gladys Verhulst, they have riders specifically for the let's say first 5 stages they brought with them. Maybe to compete for the win, maybe also to help Kim Lecour and Sarah Gigante to get through those stages. And it was probably because we had Stan Stills on this talk show in Belgium, and there he said like Kim Lecour is going, Shakir is going, and Sarah Gigante will be going if she's fully recovered from the Giro. So I think if Sarah wasn't recovered, it was Moolman's spot. But I really think they just had this plan, like we have 3 real climbers and the rest of them are there to go for it in the first stages or really support roles. And I think with the Moolman, who climbs well, if she has her day, she can climb very well. But yeah, at one point you have to wonder, maybe there's someone better who can do more work for the team, because in this participant list, I think it will be hard for her to do a top 10. So then you also need to see, like, do we really need that other climber in support, or do we really need someone to go for it on the flatter or more hectic stages? So I think that was where the decision has been made.
I was surprised not to see her down initially. I was like, gosh, because I mean, Ashley, she always seems like someone who'd be a really good road captain and someone, I think everyone would love to ride on a team with her there for the advice and the support. But then when I saw the team list, I was like, actually, where would she fit in? Like, who would you take out to put her in? And it was like, I can see why she's not going, sort of thing.
Also, I think it will be a hard one for her, but I think they made the right decision here, because if there's something that is AG Insurance for me, it's good tactics and an amazing the teamwork and also just the atmosphere around the team. So I think they made a hard but maybe a good decision here.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't have been an easy decision, I suspect, but one that I think looking at that team list had to be made.
And then we have one more stage, the final one from Pras-sur-Arly to Châtel, and specifically Les Portes du Soleil. That's where the finish is. So again, hard stage. We have one categorized climb about 90k before the finish with Côte d'Arèche-la-Fraisse. It's 6.2 kilometers at 7.1%. Then on about halfway the stage, we have Col de Jouplan. We know that one. 11.6 kilometers at 8.5%. It's an R category, as they say in France. So a heavy one.
Yeah.
And then we have one at 30k from the finish. We have Col du Corbier, which is 5.9 kilometers at 8.5%. So another very heavy climb, first category. Then we go down a bit, but it's not that it's flat. If we go to the finish, it's still going uphill. It's not a categorized climb, but it's not that it's flat after the downhill. So yeah, that could be I think there could definitely be difference. The differences are small from the last stage. I think we could definitely see some fireworks from early on in the stage, probably.
Yeah, it's going to depend if GC's been set or not, I suspect. It's going to all come down to what the gaps are at the top of the Col de la Madeleine. The climb the day before. I think that's going to be the big question, I think.
Yeah, so overall, I think it's going to be very nice. Do we want to know how much the GC winner makes?
Oh, probably a very large amount of money, or at least I hope so.
So that's if you win the stage, you get 4,000 euros. And if you win the tour, you win 50,000 euros.
About half of what most of the British Conti team's budgets are.
Yeah. So that's good. We will just not compare it to the men's one for now.
Yeah, that's the thing, is then you compare it to the men's and
you're like, oh, this is nice. And then you see the men's prize money and it's like, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't think there needs to come more prize money before we can make sure more riders are getting paid proper wage. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, be there all night talking about that.
Yeah. So maybe for the last stage, we will see what our predictions said. The favorite there is Demi Vollering. And then we have Rooster, Gekkie, Roland Borghini, Vollering, Van der Breggen. So what do you think? If, let's say, GC is decided, do you think a break can go there? Or you think that the GC rider who was the best the day before
I think it's still going to be GC riders. But I think it might just depend. They might let somebody have it who isn't, who say lost a bit of time the day before, things like that. I just don't know. Yeah. It's quite hard to predict. It just all depends on the time gaps the day before. Say Vollering's got 5 minutes, talking hypothetically here, then they've got, they can let somebody else go and take it. They don't need to win. You just don't know. I think it's the great thing about the women's Tour de France and women's racing in general is it's so unpredictable, unlike the men's at the minute. It
was like there was a stage where Pogacar ran so early, and for who's been listening, women's cycling's boring narrative has been really big in Belgium, and it was just the perfect opportunity to just say, but hey, women's cycling is so boring, right? So probably, unless there changes something very unexpectedly in the tour for the men, which I'm crossing my fingers for, you will normally see more interesting Tour de France, I think. So if we then go over to the GC podium, I don't know what your prediction exactly was, but mine was Lotte Kopecky on 1.
Surprise.
I don't know how realistic it is, since she had to quit the Giro after 5 years without DNFs due to back injury or just like pain in the back. She took some rest and she feels better, but there is no real cause. Also, if you think back at her winter, which definitely wasn't great with the knee injury, it might be hard. But I'm also like, I'm not gonna be here sitting like 6 months saying like this could happen. I'm not gonna, But you have to see this as manifesting a good tour for Lotte. And I'm always like, you never know. You never know what happens. No. So I'm like just going with the flow and just saying Lotte on 1. On 2, I have Demi Vollering, I think. Just because she will be overall, I think combining the first stages and in the mountains, she will be after Lotte, of course.
Yeah.
The most consistent one there. And then I have Sarah on 3. Not because I think she's not gonna drop everyone on the mountains, but just because I think the first stages will be a bit tricky to come in the same time as the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it very optimistic actually for Sarah. I think she will do great in the mountains. I'm super excited to see it. But you know, for the GC, it could be interesting because we have riders like Kim Lecour and Pauline Ferrand-Privot. We have no idea what their shape is like.
No, you've no
I think
idea.
Marwan Reusser will be, if she's been recovering well from her illness she got at the end of the Giro, she will be also doing well because she's really on a curve and on a growing curve. And every race you think, this will be her max. And then it's like, no, we can. So yeah, maybe we can see her like Vollering level. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Also excited to see what Malcotti, if she gets her own chance or she has to be Talita de Jong's domestic. She said that, I think, in the podcast. Definitely Giro for her own opportunities. And then they will see in the Tour de France Femmes if there's one better. And if she's recovered well enough from the Giro. But what was your prediction, actually?
I went Demi Vollering for the overall GC win. It was a very head and heart. I'd love to see Lotte win. But I kind of sat there and I thought, actually, on paper, it's probably going to be Demi. And then I went Lotte second because you can only hope. I can't actually remember who I put third.
Do you
I
want to
say Kasia Niodoma, I think.
Yeah, I think that was it.
I think I went for a stab in the dark and thought she might come out on form for that. But it could be anyone, I think, for third. And I think anyone for any of the top 3, to be honest. I think it's going to be so interesting.
Let me see if that's you. Yeah, Connie Hayes predicted Kasia Niodoma on 3. Yeah, definitely. For, I think, Vollering, the odds are pretty big. She will be on there. Although I did saw someone not putting Vollering on the podium. I actually might want to go through those. Do I want to spot? I will just go through it and just like say if I see an interesting one. Yeah, we have one from Age Insurance. Surprise if you're gonna hear the winner.
Yes.
Kim Lecour. We do have Vollering and Longo Borghini there on the podium. Then we also have a prediction saying I think Vollering will win before Reusser and Longo Borghini. Longo Borghini has also been one that comes back a lot on the podiums, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Then we also have one who's going with, that's mine. I was like, who's going with Lotte Kopecky? And I was like, huh? I'm the only one who did that?
Yes, no, it's you.
Yeah, that's mine.
Excitement over.
And then we have Sarah Gigante herself. Let's see who she went with. She didn't dare to put herself on the podium, I think. But she went with, which is surprising to me, because we had the other AG rider to go for Kim Lecour as a win. But here she's not on the podium. We have Vollering on 1, Reusser on 2, and Longo Borghini on 3. But she did predict, which I found very cool, she did predict herself for stage 8. So, yeah, I like that one.
That's, she's backing herself for it, which is always good if you have the confidence to think like that. I think that's quite a winning mentality.
Yeah, it starts by believing in yourself, right? Then we have Kristof, normally he would share his 2, is going for Vollering, of course.
Yeah.
Kim Lecour on 2, and Longo Borghini on 3. So, okay, he didn't go too boring. He did use a bit of heart. And then, I don't know, who's this one? Tara Gins also on. Who did she go with? Demi Vollering, backing Sarah with 2nd overall and 3rd for Reusser. I think Longo Borghini, Reusser and Vollering are the most returning names on the podium. Who we have here? We have one with Vollering, Niodoma and Pietersen, which is also, I would say, a pretty hot take. Pietersen on 3, but why not? Depends what she focused on. We have Margot. She didn't dare to predict herself for it, but she won the podium. Vollering, Reusser, Niodoma. We also have a prediction. Vollering, Van der Breggen, Reusser. Van der Breggen, I think, is also pretty hot take.
Yeah, that could be an interesting one.
But depends if she's riding as in the Giro. then it won't be it. But if she finds a better flow, maybe. Then we have another one with Demi Vollering, Sarah Gigante, and Marlon Reusser. So other She Rides guests believe in Sarah. That's the conclusion I'm
Sarah's got a lot of
taking
belief around her.
But she also has the personality to just be loved by the public.
Yeah, definitely. She's the star.
Yeah. So yeah, for the GC, I think that's it. I think for She Rides, we definitely can look forward to our 3 pure climbers, because I've noticed that after Petra Sjasny podcast, I was like, oof, we really do have only pure climbers, like, which is very funny. Like, but yeah, at least the mountain stages are very interesting for She Rides.
Yeah.
And hopefully Lotte can take something.
She's got to take
the rest
stage
of the
win
stages.
somewhere.
Will be interesting to see. I'm crossing my fingers for a good tour for her. Would be good. Belgium media. Like, we have one day, there's this thing where, as the work said, we're focusing on as many as possible stage wins, and we will see what GC will do and stuff like that, because we can't forget her difficult winter and then the back problems and stuff. The first article you see really from Belgium media is like, ooh, it might be the mental pressure. And I'm like, what is your problem? Just read this. She had a knee injury in the winter. She now suffered from back problems. How has this anything to do with mental pressure?
But they're not going to say that about the men, are they?
That's...
If it was a male rider, it would all be...
But like, also... which some plays a part, which I was very happy about to see, is that Lotte, for once after the classic seasons, dared to open up and say like media and stuff. It got too much. It made me unhappy, which I was very happy to see her do, because I felt that something was off. But for the media to actually show some empathy and like, maybe we shouldn't go over this again and we shouldn't put that much pressure. So she opened up once, and I was it might be the mental pressure. And it's like, normally we see a lot of who completes her goals, and now she's like adjusting the goals, and she's added the Giro last minute. For once, that wasn't even true, because in the beginning of the year they said might be Giro she will be doing, not sure yet.
Yeah.
But like, what do you expect of someone who is the whole pressure of the whole country on her, mainly because media makes believe that that's normal? What do you expect? Of course, if it's not going well and you're very hard on yourself, but you have every cycling journalist with a bit of name on your back, like saying, it's not good enough, because Tour of Flanders in the spring, only that not good enough, so bad. Like, like, guys, I don't know what's your problem. Same with like the Belgian Championships. Some people were understanding because that was a crazy performance, but other people were like, the best Lotte would have done this. But I'm like, guys, 32 kilometers controlling the bunch on your own.
You shouldn't have a single teammate. It wasn't. And the whole bunch will by default ride against her.
Yeah, indeed. And
you
it was
will
like,
go in and you will work. They will also almost unite forces to ride against her. It's the hardest.
I think it was only like a Phoebe Orders and a Lotte Klaas who might did a couple of turns, but that was it on 132 kilometers. Do you really expect her to be able to win it then? So I mean, it was like seeing the press release. For first thing, I was like, good that they are taking some pressure off her. That's good. If the team can do it, it can only influence herself. But why the fuck do you think, as a women's cycling analyst here in Belgium, the first thing you say about it might be her mental toughness that's a bit off?
Yeah.
I mean,
they wouldn't say it about the men, would they? Because it's just classic.
So that was triggering me a bit, but really very much looking forward to see what she can do, and also hope for our She Rides guests that they are able to shine, no crashes, no bad luck.
Hopefully everyone stays safe and upright.
Because I'm bringing the spray paint, so I want to be able to spray paint till the end for everyone. So for maybe we can also talk about like I might want to go to our complete list of statistics who predicted what. Green jersey, who are we thinking? Wiebes, Vos?
Or Vos, I think. Again, it's someone's got to get to the finish
Yeah.
and face the mountains.
Uh-huh.
So it might be a little bit of last sprinter standing.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to say it'll be Weebs
Yeah.
or maybe Voss again.
I went
I
for
don't know.
Voss.
It'd be great if it was
Yeah.
Voss.
Yeah. It would be just great. Of course, I'd rather see Lotte taking the first stage, but I would love to see Marianne Vos just for the circle would be round if she would just have the yellow. That would be
Oh
just...
yeah, if she could just wear yellow for
Yeah.
one day, then it would just be. I don't
Yeah.
know how much longer she's got. Dare I
Yeah.
say it, racing, and I mean, I feel like she's been around for literally decades at this
Yeah,
point.
but would be so beautiful. Opening stage, the
Oh,
goat
yeah.
taking the yellow jersey. Would be cool, would be cool. But according to our guests, Wiebes is the top favorite for the green jersey. I don't count out Vos as well. Depends who's going for it in the intermediate sprints as well, I think. And
Yeah.
in which stages Vos can sprint where Wiebes can't.
Yeah.
But I think it became closer and closer. Like the advantage Vos had on Wiebes last year is becoming
It's coming
very
down.
small now. So probably the odds are big. Wiebes will take it. But I went with Vos in my predictions, I think. For the white jersey, Marion Binel is the top favorite here, actually. When I predicted that one, I was like, oh, maybe a hot take, because everyone was actually going for Puck Peterson. So I was like, but apparently we now changed our minds, and she's a favorite for the white jersey. And we also have someone saying Niedermeyer, but she isn't racing. Probably need to check that with the person who did that. We also have Neve Bradbury and your pick, Millie Cousins.
Yeah, I had to back Millie just on a long shot.
Yeah, for a long shot, but you never know.
She's a legend. I was like, right, I'm just going to say it, go with it.
Nice. Polka dots. We are seeing Yakiri here on 4, although AG Insurance said they aren't really going for it with Yakiri. Looking at the predictions that say maybe the statement wasn't completely correct of AG Insurance, but that's just some information if you want to use it for some kind of fantasy game or something. We have also one saying Lecour. We have also 4 people saying Gigante. 5 people, actually 5. And Vollering, someone predicted as well.
That might have been me. I think it depends if they play.
Yeah.
If they play the polka dots as like they let somebody or one specific person from a smaller, I'm not saying smaller team as it's Tour de France Femmes, then no one's really a small team in the usual sense. It just depends whether they let somebody rack up all the points early on and they manage to hold it, or I fear it's going to be a sort of, standard yellow jersey's also got the polka dots by default sort of situation.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope for a polka dot jersey battle. Also, we also asked to predict Super Combativity Awards. Our favorite apparently is Justine Jacquire. And with 3, then we have others like Jackson, Kerbal, Van der Velde also. Margot went for Julie Van der Velde. Do we give Combativity Awards, Super Combativity to a domestic, or do the women also have like a super domestic prize? I don't know, actually.
No, I don't really. I think it'll be interesting. It sort of depends how it's raced, if people let people go up the road or not, or if they try and control it. And
last year, Vollering got it, the Super Combativity, after like the crash. And Faulkner, someone said Faulkner, someone said Reusser. Someone named Sigrid Haugset was actually not following the rules and just said one from Laboral. So we will need to get a specific name from her, because otherwise she has 7 chances. So we will have to get a specific name out of that. And then we have also someone saying Silke Smulders. The predicted time gap between the first and 10th in GC varies between 1 minute 15 seconds to 12 minutes 10 seconds. I'm thinking bigger difference as last year, and last year was about an 8-minute difference. So
I think it's going to be bigger. I think that second to last stage is going to be some big gaps are going to open up.
And then we also did the Lantern Rouge. We have apparently my pick. I did some proper research and I went with Sylvie Swinkels, who was one from the last riders last year who's competing again. And then I have to say it, Sarah added that it feels mean, and she definitely has nothing against her, but her guess is Clément Chéreau. And we also have someone saying Marjolein van 't Geloof, Lonneke Uneke, Charlotte Kool, Fiona Mangan, Emily Watts. We have 2 Alison Jacksons, and one of them says, but I don't want her to be.
Love it. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I just thought like Cole would be maybe an obvious one, but I don't think she will finish.
No, I suspect, especially after her injuries, I suspect if she starts, she'll start 1, 2, 3, 4 and probably climb off day 5 would be my prediction.
And then for team classification, the favorite here is, I think, FDG Suez. We have someone else saying Canyon, Little Trek, As He Works, and Visma. Yeah, FDG Suez with en Chawe Labous, Muziek Volring. Yeah, should be an easy one for them, I'd say. So yeah, in terms of racing, I don't know. Do we want to add something to the racing? Can we add something?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just going to be so open.
Yeah, it feels really open.
It's so hard to predict.
Yeah, I feel like last year we really went in with like, oh, Vollering is gonna take this one. And we had kind of more like an idea for all these stages, but these, apart from maybe the 2 sprinter stages, feel very open. I think there are some opportunities for the not first 10 riders in the World Tour classification riders to win a stage. It could also be just be favorites from day 1 to day 9. There are also some nice opportunities. Yeah, I think the most important thing to add is just like really watch the fun, preferably from the start of the coverage till the end. So yeah, I might can tell you some more about She Rides, Saar on Tour. So I'm leaving tomorrow. I think for you it will be today, so the 24th. I'm leaving pretty early. Then I'm just gonna split the travel into 2 days. So the day before I'll arrive in Van. Probably there isn't a team presentation before. At least I don't know. I did my research and I didn't find anything about it, so I guess not, but we will see. So then you will get the lineup for the prediction competition. You will also be able to follow on social media. Then from the 26th, we have daily episodes. With the help of our video editor, Oriol, we will try to get everything online the same evening. For the moment, I have 3 guest co-hosts planned since Kristof is on holiday. We might squeeze one with Kristof in during the week, but for sure we have one the first Saturday, then we have after stage 6, and then we keep the best for last, and on stage 9 we have Connie.
The worst for last, more like.
No, don't say that. So it could be interesting. I'll also do my best to give you content on Instagram. We'll try Blue Sky, but the uploading times are a bit a struggle, so that will be more grouped into the evening, some reels or stuff. And then what can I get? It will be pretty exciting. I'm gonna see them a lot for the last stages. So the 8th I'm doing Col de Plan Palais, and then a little bit further on before the Madeleine I'm gonna see them, and then for the last stage I'm sleeping actually totally unplanned in the street of the finish of the final stage. So
that's a good spot. Finding an Airbnb for that. That's
So that will be nice. And then for the other stages, I'm mainly just gonna be roadside. For the first stage, I'll be finish Côte Catudal. We'll see. We'll definitely spray paint there first, and then I'll see if I'll just stay at that place or go to the finish. Then for the second one, I'll do start and then finish, but it has a local app, so we'll also see them 2 times. And for the sprint stages, I'll do start and finish for both. And then I have, thanks to one of our guests, Kate, I have 2 pretty nice experience on stage 5 and 6, but we'll tell you more about that when it's time. And then for later, stage 7, I don't know actually. Start and finish, maybe something along the road. I forgot. But anyways, will be a nice and busy 9 days with a lot of time spent in the car. But very much looking forward. And I'll just check maybe quickly our actual preparation to see if I missed some latest news. Probably Bala's Ladies Tour, where I had there. Okay, I didn't write it down. But we had... Where did we go? We just had the sprint finish of Nienke Veenhoven. That was the last thing we said. Then we had Saturday, the morning stage. We had an impressive win by Zoe Bakstedt. It was like
Flying.
the peloton was kind of like in parts. Then when it looked like everything was together, and they would sprint, Bakstedt attacked. Schreiber followed. She just waited a bit and see how far they could go without really with Schreiber doing the work. And then the sprint she won it. But so that was already impressive. And then in the evening stage, she won again. It was about 10K time trial. I was there. It was pretty nice to see. What was less nice to see was Marta Lach got hurt. She was like, we were already waiting like for 4 minutes and she wasn't coming. And she was like really crying. And so that was not nice to see when she came over the finish line.
It's not good.
And then the day after, we saw an even more horrible crash with Charlotte Kool, Fien van Einde. She broke, I think, 3 vertebrae or something. Alexis Magner. That was horrible.
She seems in a really bad way from what I've heard.
She was reanimated, then brought to the hospital. She is stable now. Her husband posted an update that she doesn't have leg or head injuries, but it will be a hard and long recovery, I think.
Yeah, I bet.
It could have been worse if you saw the first news, but it's still very heavy.
Yeah, it's not good.
Also, I think for the Palma's Ladies Tour itself, not a nice thing. Because the race is known for their many crashes, actually.
It's one as a rider.
Yeah.
O'Shea have never done it, but we're almost quite glad every year we're not going to that one, and it's sort of a bit... It's not really the great mentality. If you know that a race is very... can be dangerous and crashy, it's not great.
Yeah. I had the feeling this year it was a bit better, actually.
It seems to be less crashes than previous years, for sure.
But they are also trying to grow the race. That is already just a good thing. Trying to grow a women's race is something we like to see. Then I also need to add something, actually, with, of course, Kristof's coaching. He's powering the podcast, of course.
Yes.
But he's also sponsoring, and also She Rides. We're sponsoring first year and small women's race in Drongen this year. It's the 2nd of August, so I sadly won't be able to be there. But they want to start this year, and they also want to grow the race naturally over the years, and just make sure there's more racing opportunity. There's both a junior and an elite race. So nice initiative, and if you're really going, you can see our She Rides banners there as well.
That's what you need. We need more races like that to grow over time and help the sport.
Yeah. So I think we mainly covered it all then. I think this can count as the ultimate Tour de France Femmes preview. Yeah. The biggest conclusion is that we're very excited, and we actually have no idea what's going to happen.
We have no clue.
But I would just stay tuned on She Rides, because I'll definitely be spamming. I think we can close it off here. So that's a wrap for today's episode of She Rides. Huge thanks to Connie to being our savior today. Make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube so you never miss an episode. If you like today's show, rating, like, or comment really helps us reach more listeners. Follow us on Blue Sky and Instagram for behind-the-scenes updates, our Guess the Guess game, and more Saar on Tour action. Don't forget to check out our other episodes. There is something for everyone. If you've got questions or topics you'd love us to cover, don't hesitate to reach out. And thanks for listening to She Rides, where women's cycling takes lead. Keep watching the fun, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.